Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Tragedy at the fair.
Rides is broken. Yes, people just fell out like 60 feet up.
A terrifying, deadly accident raising new concerns about the safety of carnival rides.
And a high school coach sentenced for having sex with a student. And it's what the judge did not do that shocked the courtroom. Good evening. A Canton High School assistant hockey coach charged with criminal sexual conduct for having sex with a student actually walked out of court today with only probation. The question now is, why such a dramatic change?
Question a lot of people are asking. Well, new evidence emerged today. The judge says that the girl in this case lied about her age to Coach Eric Locke. Nick Monticelli was in the courtroom for that surprising twist in the case. Nick?
I got to tell you, I really have been inside of the Hall of Justice and seen a story completely flip upside down like this. The defendant, Eric Locke, was looking at 15 years in prison, but then the judge said, wait a minute. He believes the girl was lying about her age. In fact, they met on Tinder, and she claims she was 19. This is the mugshot of Eric Locke. It went out early this year. An assistant hockey coach at Canton High School accused of coercing a 15-year-old girl into a sexual relationship.
Case number 2017.
Today, though, a different story emerged as Judge Richard Scott revealed new evidence.
As far as I can tell, the two young people met through Tinder, where the complainant had posted a picture of herself listing her age of 19.
The judge combed over messages Locke and the girl exchanged.
At the close of another exchange, defendant texted, "Wait, hang on, you are 17, correct?" unquote. To which the complainant replied yes. And the exchange continued, "Okay, haha, any younger and we would have a problem," with a emoticon.
All of this came out after the girl's mother found out about the relationship and called police. Locke was arrested for criminal sexual conduct. The mother also sent a letter to the judge saying
that he had used his position of authority to coerce the complainant to engage in sexual activities, that he stole her virginity and forced her to engage in unprotected sex.
But the defense argued and the judge agreed the relationship was consensual. Locke was facing up to 15 years in prison. Now he'll serve just 2 years of probation. And if successful, his record will be sealed, as if this never happened.
We're supposed to check in on Tinder at, you've got to be 18 or older, but you don't really have to be 18. You can lie about your age, so people should be very, very wary.
At the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Nick. The judge made it a point to say he is not blaming the victim, but did feel it was important to offer all the facts. Also, Locke will not have to register as a sex offender.
It happened in a terrible split second. A carnival ride at the Ohio State Fair in Columbus comes apart, sending riders flying through the air and onto the ground. And tonight, we now know an 18-year-old was killed in the accident. Now, the fair is open at this hour. None of the rides, though, running until everything ends up being re-inspected. And 7 people remain in the hospital. In fact, some of them have critical injuries. The state's chief ride inspector saying today they're not sure what went wrong and that the ride had been checked thoroughly before anyone got on it yesterday.
It was at its highest point and I saw somebody fall out of the ride, and then a minute later the whole row of seats fell off.
There will be lessons that will be learned in one way or another that can then be passed on to many of the amusement parks and fairs all across America.
Well, last night's tragedy is raising new concerns today about the safety of carnival rides, and that includes here at home. Our Jason Colthorpe headed to Sterling Heights today as Sterling Fest kicks off with a ride that is very similar.
Do you love the fair?
Yes! I love the fair!
And normally, 99% of the time, that's how carnivals and fairs are and are supposed to be, like opening day here at Sterling Fest. But after what happened last night, a ride like this, which is very similar to the one in Ohio, is making people think twice today.
So it says Street Fighter, so I make sure that the tag matches the ride.
Sterling Heights Fire Inspector Don Adsit is working hand in glove today with Gary Zyshek, who is in charge of the fair itself.
A little more diligence today, but it would have been done even if the events didn't occur yesterday in Ohio.
My heart goes out to the family to the friends that were involved in that incident.
The Ride 360 Street Fighter is very similar and even more extreme than the one that malfunctioned in Columbus last night. But Zyshek says there's nothing to worry about.
We're going to stay vigilant. We're going to go ahead and continue to do what we normally do. We do daily ride inspections prior to opening.
It's easier said than done for this mom who's watching her daughter ride it.
Scared, a little bit nervous, but nervous anytime they get on the ride, no matter what. How was it? How was it?
Good.
Super fun?
Yeah.
There's always the what if, so you can't stop having fun just because of one accident.
In Sterling Heights, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
All right, Jason, and the company has a ride like the one in the Ohio accident. It is in Missouri. They voluntarily shut it down today.
A hot and muggy afternoon, enough for some pop-up showers and perhaps storms, too. We do need the rain again.
We definitely need the rain, and our rain chances seem to be fading a bit. Andrew is in for Ben tonight. How does the radar look?
Well, Karen, the radar is showing a few showers there to our north, and good afternoon to you, Devin. But here in Detroit, as you can see, we've got sunshine. A warm, muggy afternoon with temperatures in the middle 80s. Feels like it's closer to around 90 degrees in some places. But you can see here on 4 Live Radar, a few scattered showers. Now, you notice, look at the top of your screen. See the bits of green showing up? They're along with the clouds that are showing up as well. It's got the satellite and radar here both together. Notice how this line is diminishing. These showers getting wider and wider apart over the past couple of hours, from around 1 this afternoon until now. So these showers are actually diminishing. A couple of heavier showers that were just west of Port Huron, a bit lighter, but still a little bit of light rain coming down here in Port Huron. And even here in northern Oakland County, this slightly heavier shower here right around Oxford, really not posing much of a threat to anybody. And we do need the rain. We still have a deficit that's out there, but we're not looking at any showers except for a few of those to our north over the next couple of hours. So it remains mostly dry for many folks' commutes. It remains warm out there, so make sure you drink plenty of water for afternoon and evening activities if you're going to be outside exerting yourself, going out for a run or just even playing or doing some work outside. Temperatures in the middle 80s for now, low 80s by 8 p.m. Now, is there any rain in our weekend forecast, or will we have more sunshine? We'll talk about that, your next 7-day forecast, in just a few minutes.
Well, for the first time today, top military officials weighed in on President Trump's tweets, saying it is going to take some time to implement a ban on transgender people in the military. That going on as lawmakers enter a series of votes on health care. Also, one top senator made a not-so-veiled threat for the president concerning the fate of the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Blaine Alexander is following it all in Washington tonight. Blaine.
Well, Devin, today word is going out to all branches of military. Nothing changes until President Trump issues an actual order.
Big welcome from
the Army's top general struggling to explain what happens next after President Trump's surprise Twitter announcement banning transgender people from the military. The Pentagon, he said, is awaiting actual orders from the president, but
will today and will tomorrow and always should treat every single soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Coast Guardsman with dignity and respect for their service and the cloth of our nation.
Congressional sources tell NBC News the president's announcement is tied to funding for his border wall, which was being held up in a dispute over transgender health benefits in the military.
Said they were going to have to work out the details on how that all moves forward.
I am going to work really hard on a piece of legislation to ensure that the president does not do this.
And another strong message from Capitol Hill to the president amid reports that he's thinking about firing Attorney General Jeff Sessions.
If Jeff Sessions is fired, there will be holy hell to pay.
The presidency isn't a bull, and this country isn't a china shop.
Lawmakers also juggling health care, making their way through a series of votes today, ending with the so-called skinny repeal, a partial walkback of Obamacare, so far getting mixed support from Republicans.
I don't know what's in it still. I truly don't.
I'm going to vote for it. I'll be on it like a whole bone of ham sandwich.
The president laying on the pressure, hoping Republicans will deliver his first legislative victory.
And today the Boy Scouts are officially apologizing for what they call political rhetoric during the president's speech earlier this week, saying that the Scouts remain strictly nonpartisan. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, one other note. In his first interview since the president's tweet storm, the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, called the president's criticisms, quote, kind of hurtful, end of quote. Well, today Ford Motor Company is celebrating the 100th anniversary of Henry Ford's Model T truck.
Yes, the Ford Model T truck first debuted back in 1917 and was the first purpose utility vehicle of its kind. The truck sold for $600 back then and was the answer to customers' requests for a vehicle that could carry heavy loads. Ford prides itself on listening to its customers and giving them what they want.
We've really grown and understood and listened to our customers all those 100 years to continue trying to give them a truck that really suits their needs and does what they want it to.
Today, Ford still tops the market with its F-Series trucks. The F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for the last 40 years. The company has sold more than 26 million F-Series trucks in the U.S. since 1977.
So we're now at the F-150. That other one was kind of the F1. Just the very
Yeah,
first.
there's many changes after that.
Just getting started here on Local 4 News at 5.
Much more ahead over the next hour of news, including a new twist in the great debate. Do you really need to finish all of the antibiotics prescribed to you? The doc is in.
Also, do you recognize this man? How this sketch could help solve a bizarre mystery going on up north. Sean?
Ever notice how you see so much more when you walk and not drive?
I observe so much more and interact so much more on our streets than so many other people get a chance to.
Next, I'll show you how one man's daily walk helped him catch two guys tearing this house apart. The Ford Motor Company builds cars down in Mexico because it's much less expensive there to ship globally. We had heard in the recent weeks that the Mexican cartels were using Ford trains to ship drugs into the United States. They went as far as Ohio before, but guess what? Now they're here.
New at 6.
Payless paydays, teacher at a local school being told there's no money left for payroll. What happened and what's next for the educators? An award-winning restaurant damaged by fire is ready to reopen. The popular spot that is close to coming back. Devin.
Well, Detroit is the Motor City, of course. Reality, though, is most cars, even those made by the big three, aren't necessarily made here. Take Ford, for instance. You buy a Fusion or a Fiesta, most likely it came here by rail from two plants in Mexico. And here's where they end up. Ford's rail facility in Woodhaven. These are live pictures from the facility from Sky 4. But it turns out something else is coming along with those shipments of vehicles. Rod Maloney has a look at an alarming find Homeland Security made at the Woodhaven rail yard.
We had heard in the recent weeks that the Mexican cartels were using Ford trains to ship drugs into the United States. They went as far as Ohio before, but guess what? Now they're here. This picture comes from a local 4 viewer who'd happened upon the raid yesterday. Every federal agency you can think of descended on Ford's marshalling center at Vreeland and Hull Road, just west of I-75 in Woodhaven. In a number of auto-hauling rail cars, Ford employees found bales of pot that, when netted together, came in at just under 300 pounds. They called Ford security that brought in Woodhaven police and the feds. At the crossroads of commerce and crime, Ford put out a statement today saying that it takes this situation very seriously, that it's working with Homeland Security, Customs, local police departments, and they say Ford's working with them. But after that, Ford's not saying much of anything. The Fed said Ford employees went about the business here of searching 200 cars taken off the trains to see if any drugs found their way into the cars. They found none. But that's not much comfort for Ford because it needs to find out whether any of its employees are involved in the rail drug shipping operation. So what do the feds do now? Well, they start looking to see if perhaps some of the cartel employees missed a pickup somewhere, because these were easily seen inside these trains, and those are highly secured trains. You can't just walk into them. So they have a lot of questions about who was doing this, how they are doing this, and where to go with this investigation. But rest assured, now the second time in 2 weeks, they want to find out for sure.
Well, Rod, we had these pot seizures 2 weeks ago in Ohio. Different from what's happened here then?
Yeah, they believe it is different in that 2 weeks ago there were these sort of half-moon shaped packages of pot that were stuffed into wheel wells in the vehicles. So that shows that that's inside the plant or somebody having access to the car between the plant and the rail car.
Yeah.
In these, they were just stuffed into the rail car. Dramatically different. Now, it could be the same cartel. We don't know. But that's what the feds certainly are trying to find out.
Well, the transport's going to get a lot more scrutiny, no doubt about it. All right, Rod.
Macomb County is getting closer to finishing nearly $10 million worth of federally funded improvements in its waterways. Today, Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller and County Executive Mark Hackel toured the Glodee Drain near Partridge Creek. Nearly $2.5 million has been awarded from the EPA to restore that area that used to be a golf course. The project includes planting 600 new trees.
We are improving the quality of the water, which of course, not too far from here, goes right into the Clinton River, eventually out into Lake St. Clair.
Most of the work along the drain is expected to be done by the end of this year. The county will wait to plant those 600 new trees until next spring, which seems to make sense to me.
Good idea.
Not a gardener, but I think I would wait a little bit.
Love seeing the ducks on the water.
Well, in fact, it's interesting looking at the water. For a while there, it felt like we were just getting way too much rain, and now we need it again.
That's right. We have a slight deficit that's out there now. Many folks may be feeling it in their wallets also with water bills going up using your sprinklers. Looks like we may have to do so as we go into the weekend. And even for today, I mean, you can see a few sprinkles here showing up on 4 Live radar. What you're seeing in the middle of your screen, that green area there, that's just ground clutter. Really fine particles in the atmosphere being picked up by 4 Live radar. Here, this is where we're looking at some raindrops actually hitting the ground, and really not very many. Only just a handful just south of Port Huron, maybe around the Marysville area. This one right here, a heavier shower. Notice no lightning here, right around Lake Huron or in the Ortonville area, but not much coming down there as well. So many folks still need the rain, but it looks like it's mostly dry. All those raindrops with heavier showers, more organized thunderstorms, they're all occurring someplace else, either to our south in portions of Indiana stretching into Ohio and parts of Kentucky, or far off to our west and northwest, and not much of it coming in our direction. Looks like we have a lot of sunshine coming for the weekend, and it's already abnormally dry, which is on the weakest end of the scale in terms of drought monitoring, but nonetheless it's there. In portions of Washtenaw County, just west of Ann Arbor, also in our west zone, right around Pinckney, southern Livingston County, stretching into the metro zone as well for places like Southfield, also around West Bloomfield, and the Novi area and the northwestern tip of Wayne County. So the rain is still needed, at least in some areas, and we'll be monitoring that drought over the coming days and weeks because we still have a dry spell that's going on. That being said, it gets cooler later tonight. Some more comfortable air comes in. Good sleeping weather here in the metro zone and across our 3 other zones with temperatures in the 60s, middle and then lower 60s. 86 right now, still a bit steamy out there. Take a look, humidity at 49%, so it feels like it's closer to 90 degrees when you factor in that. Heat index is around 88, and we still have a calm wind. So as far as July is concerned, we're nearly a ½ inch below average in terms of rain. For the summer of this year, nearly 2 inches, 1.96. But for the year, remember how wet it was earlier this season, springtime, and we got quite a bit of snow? Well, 2.43 inches above average for the year. But again, we'll keep monitoring this because we still have just under half a year to go. And we'll see, I'll show you in the 7-day forecast where our next chance of showers is. It at least occurs in the next 7 days. Rain, cooled air, you can see temperatures in the 70s across the I-69 corridor. Where it's sunnier, that's where it's warmer. 82 in Monroe, 84 for our friends in Dundee. Drying out a bit for tonight, still partly cloudy, and as you can see, as we go into tomorrow, there might be a few raindrops sticking around, maybe a sprinkle here and there in the early afternoon, but overall, less humid air moves in for the weekend, high pressure moves in as well, and that means dry conditions for both Saturday and Sunday as that high pressure takes effect. So partly cloudy skies for tonight, maybe a couple more showers to our north, temperatures down to around 65 degrees. Tomorrow, 78 for a high, a little cooler than today, but you can still head to the pool. Partly to mostly sunny skies with maybe a sprinkle midday. Then more sunshine on Saturday and Sunday, highs between 80 and 85. It's about 7 days away or so, but there's that chance of showers at the end of our 7-day forecast.
Long stretch, yeah.
Holding out hope for farmers, gardeners, and to ease water bills out there.
Yep. They'll keep running for now. Doc?
Well, it's a hard and fast rule of antibiotics. You need to finish the entire prescription. But is that really true? Coming up, see why some doctors are stirring up a big debate about antibiotics.
All right, Doc, but first, you won't believe what caused this home to catch fire overnight. We will show you what happened when we come right back.
A fire in Livonia damages 2 homes and an RV. That fire broke out this morning on Angling Street near 8 Mile Road this morning. The fire started when a camper caught fire in the driveway of one of those homes. The fire then spread to that home and then scorched the exterior of the house next door. Fortunately, no one was hurt. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Across Michigan tonight, stories from Kalamazoo and Flint.
And we'll start with a mystery up north in Leland. Police there have released a sketch in hopes of identifying this man whose body was found floating in Lake Michigan. A fisherman found his body about a mile from the Leland Harbor on the 4th of July. Police are working to determine if the watercraft that you see pictured belonged to the man, because that was found about 8 miles southwest of the body. So there's a lot here that police haven't quite been able to fit together. If you know who this is, you're urged to contact police right away. A man accused of killing 2 people before fleeing to Indiana has charges authorized against him now.
Take a look. This is Zachary Patton. Police say he killed 31-year-old Garcela Portilla Esperanza in a mobile home park before driving to his ex-wife's home and killing her husband, Shane Richardson. After the shootings, Patton fled to South Bend, where he turned himself in the next morning. Patton faces several charges, including murder, carrying a concealed weapon, and felony firearms. 5 of the water distribution centers in Flint will be closing in the next month. This comes after the water in Flint homes contained lead levels that are below federal safety standards for the second consecutive 6-month testing period. The other 4 centers will remain open indefinitely. Flint residents have been getting free bottled water, filters, and testing kits from those distribution centers.
New at 5:30.
If you're thinking of selling your home, it's all about making sure it looks right to attract the right buyer. Staging experts revealing the simple things you should do that will not only sell your house, but get you more cash.
Trapped in the water.
I couldn't do anything else but pray and ask God to save me.
Dramatic rescues in Kansas City as massive flash floods swamp the town.
While downtown continues to build, scrappers continue to feast on neighborhoods.
They're just parasites within the system.
I'll show you one man's mission, and he's doing everything on foot.
It's dinner time.
He's had enough. A man who works amid downtown Detroit's boom comes home every day to a stark reality just miles away, and now he's doing something about it. It tops our news tonight at 5:30. This picture right here is how he's doing it. It's a picture of scrappers, as you can see, driving away from a home right near Woodward in Nevada.
Our Sean Lay spoke with him as he fights to try to bridge this gap. Sean?
Good evening, everyone. Do me a favor, quickly glance up at your screen. The question I'm asking you is, can you even see me back in all of this? There's a house back here. It's so overgrown, the perfect place for scrappers, until a man who walks through here every day caught 2 guys red-handed. By day, Stephen Boyle serves up goodness at Go Smoothies in the heart of downtown Detroit's resurgence.
Put your spirit into the food, you're giving somebody part of your energy.
Boyle continues to give his energy after work to his neighborhood, riding the bus home, walking the rest of the way on West Nevada.
I observe so much more and interact so much more on our streets than so many other people get a chance to.
If he hadn't been on foot, he wouldn't have heard this.
Things that you wind up seeing when you're just being aware walking through our streets.
Siding being ripped right off of a vacant house. Stephen captured a shot of the truck involved, and it had out-of-state plates.
They're just parasites within the system. All of the things that prevent the house from falling apart are being taken away.
Boyle says he sees the focus off of preventing the picking away at neighborhoods. When he sees what's cooking downtown, he'll also keep the focus on where he lives.
I'm going to stand my ground, and if I've faced a lot of interesting things.
So because of Stephen's work, something a little different on his way and walk home tonight, guys. He'll be meeting with Detroit police officers. They are very keen on seeing his pictures and videos and trying to identify the 2 men that were in that out-of-state truck. He's also posted everything to the city's Improved Detroit app, which the city wants everyone to do. When they see something like that, let them know about it. Guys, back to you.
You know, Sean, I'm never sure that we do a great job of quantifying the cost of this scrapping problem, because it's not as simple as just putting pipes back in or putting the siding back on, because a lot of the times this means complete reconstruction to fix.
And he's pointing this out because the 3 homes that he's walking past that are really getting eaten alive over there are 3 very viable homes that could be saved, and that's what he'd like to see happen.
Boy, such a high cost. All right, Sean.
An incredible rescue captured on camera after Kansas City was hit with dangerous flash flooding.
Yeah, firefighters were seen pulling a woman from her car on Thursday, just moments before the floodwaters just took the vehicle away. Heavy rainfall overnight led to this flash flooding across the city, swelling rivers right past their banks as the waterways hitting record levels in the Kansas City area. The woman rescued was one of several saved yesterday.
Well, I was on one day, I was getting ready to turn on 17. When I saw the water, I was trying to go back, but my car wouldn't let me. So I just float with the water. And thank God for the firemen, please.
Today's forecast, a 20% chance of rain in the city, so a little bit lower, and hopefully everyone will remain safe. This year's first probable case of locally transmitted Zika infection has now been confirmed.
And the case was confirmed in Hidalgo County, Texas, which is south of San Antonio and it's west of Monterey. Health officials there said today the patient, a man, is no longer infectious. They also say he tested positive because of antibodies in his blood, indicating his Zika infection was active roughly about 2 months ago. That man had not traveled outside of the area recently. Officials also confirmed that.
Walmart says it is canceling all the pre-orders of the highly anticipated Super Nintendo Classic.
The retail giant now says customers have all been sent emails about that cancellation. The gaming system was made available for a pre-order on Walmart's website on Friday night. It's sold out in just a couple of minutes, but Walmart says it was a technical glitch. The limited edition mini version of the original Super Nintendo runs about $80. It will have a wide release coming up September 29th. In good health tonight, you know when a doctor puts you on antibiotics, you've probably been told you need to take them until they're all finished.
Exactly. Well, now a new report is questioning the wisdom of that advice. Dr. Frank McGeorge here to explain why stopping early might make sense. This is a big change.
It is a little bit different, Evan and Sandra. You know, in the past, because of a concern that stopping early could promote antibiotic resistance, the recommendation has always been to completely finish a prescribed course of antibiotics. That conventional wisdom goes all the way back to the days of the discovery of penicillin, but it is now being challenged.
Antibiotics are everywhere, including our food supply, and that type of overuse in general has been a leading cause of the development of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Resistance develops when the sensitive bacteria are successfully killed, selecting out and leaving behind only the mutated resistant bacteria that now happily multiply. When doctors prescribe antibiotics, the idea is to completely eradicate all the bacteria causing the infection. And since the dawn of antibiotics, there's been a concern that incomplete treatment would encourage resistant bacteria to develop, hence the admonition to always finish your prescribed antibiotics. Well, now a new report is suggesting that may not be the case, and furthermore, taking antibiotics past the point that they're absolutely necessary might increase side effects and further select out resistant bacteria. Now, at this point, the evidence for this isn't convincing, but it does raise the point that more study is probably necessary to define the minimum necessary course of antibiotics.
Now, I need to say there is real concern over the harm that having patients stop early could cause. Decisions on how long to treat any given infection are based on accumulated experience. And in some cases, like a heart valve infection, prematurely stopping treatment, even if the patient looks and feels better, really opens the door to recurrence. So for now, make sure you stick with your doctor's advice.
That's always been the thing. You start feeling much better than this. You may have, know, days and days worth of pills left to take.
Well, and in certain cases, like a localized skin infection where you can really see the improvement and it's not a compromised area, it may make sense to stop early. We'll see. But for other infections, it may make a big difference to continue to the very end.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thanks, Doc. A jury is awarding an iconic music producer nearly $10 million from Michael Jackson's estate. Producer Quincy Jones sued both Jackson's estate and also Sony Music for royalties as well as production fees. He claimed in a lawsuit he was owed $30 million for music he had produced on Billie Jean and Thriller that was used in a concert film and in 2 Cirque du Soleil shows. A jury decided he was entitled to money from the productions and was awarded $9.5 million.
An important event today at Chene Park. Looked like it was all fun and games, but a critical thing was happening behind all of it. Detroit youth coming together with Detroit police in hopes of breaking down barriers and trying to create new bonds. Our Tim Pamplin was there.
The party just getting underway here in Chene Park along the Detroit riverfront. Detroit Police Department and the Skillman Foundation putting on this event for Detroit youth. Lots of these youngsters having lots of questions for Rory this afternoon.
Sir, I apologize for speeding. It threw the officer off. He had never heard anybody apologize.
And lots of advice from Detroit police officers to the youngsters, trying to teach some of life's lessons. A chance for the youngsters to get up close and personal, yes, really up close and personal with this armoured personnel carrier. The event runs until 9 o'clock tonight. Lots of entertainment. It's completely free. Just come on down there. You can even have a game of street ball with the police watching on. So again, this is along the riverfront, Shane and Atwater, along the Detroit River, just east of the Renfen. It's a wonderful evening. Come on down. That's the scene in Shane Park. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Good time. All right, Tim. Well, it was a last ride fit for a hero.
I don't want to turn it into a fanfare, but he deserves his own parade.
New tonight, the heartbreaking farewell to a beloved police dog here in Michigan, and it's making headlines around the world.
Also, a standoff with a SWAT team spiraling out of control. What this man peeking out of the window did that quickly brought things to an end.
It's all about the details. Coming up, staging experts showing you what you should be doing right now to help your home sell quickly.
What's the